Peace, family. It's your brother, Oh God. Hip Hop News Uncensored. This is a live show production in front of the world. The title of this show is going to be called Meek Mill Could Really End Up in Prison. Plus, we're going to be talking about Tyrese's video and childhood. So, we're going to be in here for about a half hour or so, maybe a little longer, depending on how the conversation goes. Live show, we want to start though. Let's start this talking about probation and Meek Mill. Now, I've seen a few videos online, where some people had some pretty good advice, for Meek Mill with his probation hearing looming. Now, the story came out yesterday that Meek Mill could possibly face up to 20 months, in prison for probation violation. Now, one thing we look at is we see first and foremost, the system is not fair. A lot of us are getting railroaded. I mean, we're going to tell you, my man Darren will tell you a personal story about him getting railroaded in the system. I've been in the system. I never had no violations when I was on papers, but I know people who have, and it could be, from the smallest things. But when you're living in the public eye, like Meek Mill, it could be people around you. I guarantee you Meek didn't do anything. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you it was probably somebody in his entourage. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm saying move smart. I'm not saying be no coward and let people disrespect you. And if somebody needs to be checked, check them. But at the end, and then on the other hand, you have situations where you could be a perfect angel and they still come after you. So don't get me wrong. Like I'm on some old soft stuff, like, Meek shouldn't do this and that. But when you're as influential as him, when you're responsible for taking care of so many people, you have to move more carefully at the end of the day. So a lot of people don't know that, and I wish the best for Meek. I love Meek all the way from the muscle, the nappy braids, handing out the CDs on the Wildwood Boardwalk. Y'all know nothing about that. Hanging out in Palmer's with the bottle of Ciroc with three of him and his people. You know what I mean? I've been there. But, his probation. And another thing is when you're hearing different things, French Montana, this, that, it doesn't look good because the probation officer, this is going past their ear, they're hearing it, so it's ruining the image. Even if Meek didn't do anything, so the possibility is there. I'm gonna turn the microphone over to Darren and let him give his introduction, and we will get right into this. You got it, bro.
Right on, man. Yeah, I'm Darren Marion. I'm the editor, one of the writers for Hip Hop News Uncensored, hiphopun.com. We're looking for bloggers right now, man. So if you're interested, if you think you got some writing skills, if you love hip hop, shit like that, man, go on and holler at your boy, man. You got OGod's email, ogod at hiphopun.com. So, and then that anyway. So the thing what you said about Meek Mill, man, is somebody, you might have to check them. I'm saying that I believe that if you're moving like him and you got an entourage like him, you shouldn't have to check nobody. That's what you got. That's what you got. One of your boys to come check him, man. And if you don't check that dude, then he not in that crew no more. Cause shit, that's everybody's eating off you at that point, man. He's a business. He's he's an entity, and he has to be treated as such.
Absolutely. And then, another point is like, once he's behind bars and he can't, do shows and show up places, because he actually has to be there, for certain things. There's other ways he can make money, but a lot of things requires Meek Mill's appearance, him on a record, him at a club, him at these different places. So if he's not there, his revenue is cut. So these dudes, if they're not making money for him, these cats that's around him, you know what I mean? Once he goes in, it's going to be a big problem at the end of the day. Now, people in the chat room, are from PA, and they're speaking on the system. And I can, attest to the system everywhere. It's like whatever that judge wants to do with you, they're going to do with you. And they don't care if you're Meek Mill. They don't care if you're a rapper. They don't care. So we just got to move a little bit, smarter. And they're young. A lot of these people are young. I was watching Little Kim's interview earlier on Hot 97, and she said, I was 17 on all what's going on. So we got to keep it in perspective. These cats is young, so but the system don't care at the end of the day. They will come down on you, like a ton of bricks. So move smarter, at the end of the day.
System don't give a fuck how old you are, man. You could be an old cat on some bull, just on some shit, man. It's funny, man. My experience dealing with the system like that is 2 days before Christmas, man, I caught an OWI. I got 2 kids at home, and luckily, fortunately, thank God, I had money in my pocket to bond out. Otherwise, man, I'd have been in jail for Christmas. And they drug out my shit, man, for about 6 years, man. The judge elevated it, man, to a felony. She was like, "You get zero compliance." The probation officer would always reschedule my meetings. It would always be something to drag my shit on from the 9 months I was supposed to be on to like damn near 6 years, where they end up just bopping my head for drinking a beer. It's crazy, man, how they really, it's good that it's to remember that how old they are. That's a good thing to take advantage of when you're dealing with the system. The system as a black man or a black woman these days, man, really don't give a fuck how old you are. They're ready to throw you in jail, man. Ready to get rid of you.
Facts. Yeah, and that's real. I mean, they charging us, as young as 11, 10 years old, as adults sometimes, depending on, the different offense. But let this serve as a wake-up call. Let it serve as a wake-up call because the hip-hop police are real. I got a clip of Jim Jones and Angela Yee talking about, the hip-hop police. And best believe when you become too powerful, you don't have to be powerful. Once you become a rapper and you're in the game, you're going to have a set of eyes on you, watch you, make sure you do certain things and you don't do, certain things. And you're not going to be able to escape any little thing at the end of the day. So, at this point, I think they should understand that, and I think, as a whole, I think that the hip hop industry promotes this though. If you're not real, if you don't check this dude, you're not real if you don't punch this dude in the face. You're not real, if you're not cussing this person out. And, everything doesn't always have to be handled, with violence and stuff like that, because people get hurt, people get killed, and people get locked up, and nobody tells you the stories, about sitting in a jail cell, with 3 or 4 guys, the toilet right there, the nasty food, the bologna, the grits. Like, people don't tell you about that stuff. That stuff is not pretty. They tell you about the women, the shaking the butt, but they don't tell you about the other side. And this the side where brothers in there crying at night. They don't tell you about that. And I guarantee you, Meek Mill and all those cats has to do time Gucci. I guarantee you they was fucking crying some of those nights in that cell. So all I'm saying is I wish the best for all of these brothers at the end of the day. But we have to move smarter. But it transitions us actually into our other topic, which is making sure that we be there for our children. Fatherhood. You can't take care of your children behind bars. I know some brothers make miracles doing it. If you got some type of way to make money out there, but if you're behind bars, we already got an epidemic of, the black father not being in the home. You know what I mean? So they say, so we see. So, definitely. Go ahead, brother.
Man, the CDC, I tell everybody this, man. The CDC came out with a study about 3 years ago. You can look it up, the CDC study on black fathers. And it actually said that black fathers were more involved in our children's lives by at least 7% of all the races. So it's a if you go to a spot, man, you see it like usually a dad with his kids. I believe it's a kind of a misconception about us, man. I remember, man, when I got jammed up, man, I cried one time, man, and it wasn't for me. It wasn't because I was in a fucked up situation. It's because, man, I cried for my son, man. I cried for my son. I was like, damn, this is something that he's with, I could lose him, man. I could lose who he is. I'm losing time on who he is, on being there to develop who he is. And it was taken away like that, like nothing. And the motherfucker didn't blink and didn't give a fuck, man. So that makes me think about Tyrese, man, how we don't know what kind of decisions he had already made. We was talking about this earlier, man. We don't know what kind of decisions he had made. He might have some bad decisions because he talked about some money issues. We know he's been going back and forth with The Rock. Rock called him a motherfucker. You know, he got a motherfucker on Twitter and all this shit, man, and going in on him. So he's got that decision. His album flopped. He's got a lot of things that's sitting on him. And knowing that he's going into a courtroom where they really, like, the first thing he said, I hope I'm not breaking the law. For a black man to say that, and he's just leaving court about his child, and he's getting on there on social media and saying, I hope I'm not breaking the law by sharing what's going on in my life right now. That's telling in itself. That's the first thing he said when he voiced his opinion about his child is, I hope I'm not breaking the law talking about how much I miss my child. That's how I see it. I feel him for him, you know, in some respects.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that, you know, again, that brings us to another thing, you know, I think he's somewhere around ordered to pay $13,000 in child support. You know, a lot of people, that, of course, that's a lot of money. You know, maybe not so much when he's making what he's making, you know, but, you know, in comparison. But that whole system, that whole child support system, I'm fortunate not to be on it, you know, not to have no kids out of wedlock and all that, you know, but that's another thing, you know, that the females, I think, on one, I mean, I'm gonna say this: brothers, take care of your children. Take care of your children to the best of your ability. But you know, you have a lot of women who I think use that system against the brothers, you know, to kind of destroy them at the end of the day. And you know, that's a whole show right there, the whole child support system, and it creates a wedge, you know, in the family, you know. So you gotta be smart. I think Slim Thug spoke about it, being very smart about who you decide to lay down and have children with, being very, you know, critical of that decision, because you know you're going to be stuck with this, dealing with this woman, regardless if y'all get out of a relationship, you know, and you have to take care. You have to take care of your child first and foremost. But dealing with her is going to be different if you have a split. Trust me, you don't care how much, you know, y'all how lovey-dovey y'all is. It's going to be different, you know. And I think that puts a strain on a lot of the relationships. And if you look back, Tyrese has been going through this for a few years now. This battle, you know, over his child. Because I looked at a few old interviews. He was talking about it back in 2015. So, you know, it just shows us that, you know, what we got to work on, you know. And peace to Miss Robin White and Living Soul Journey in the chat room.
And my wife had my wife's a teacher. She's an educator, and she said you'd be surprised how many of these women. It's a bunch of ain't shit ass women out here. They're not knocking women at all. But you have to think about it. The court system looks at the mother first. They're always going to give the child. They're going to defer no matter what to the mother. So if the mother has more than one father, she essentially has two husbands, because at the drop of a dime, drop of a hat, if that man wants to see his child, she has to now drop this other guy, drop whatever she's doing, and get that man his child. So it's the onus, yeah, it's, you know, it takes two to tango, but you also have to remember that the court system looking at it take one to make the party. Feel me?
Yeah. What do you feel about him crying though? On the internet like that? We were just speaking about that, like airing out on the internet. What do you think about that?
Well, I look at it two ways. One, social media. It's social. So it's social for a reason. It's because we're sharing things. We're sharing our moments. We're sharing our birthdays. We Snapchat and stuff. So you cannot be surprised that somebody who is in the limelight like him would reach out socially to use social media. We don't know what he was up against. I don't know what he said. He's like this. What he said, he made the ugly face, man. That's what got me, like, you know, what's he on? Was he really on? Was he faking? Was he real? But up until that point, he seemed authentic. You know, and I can respect that authenticity. So if he was acting, man, he gonna win an Oscar for making
Yeah,
an place.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, with that being said though, man, it's like somebody put in the chat room, like, that's the most attention I ever paid to really Tyrese. You know what I mean? I seen him back in the day. I kind of seen what he did. I don't have nothing against him, but I just, so that's an interesting perspective. Was he faking? Because we know, like we said earlier, these rappers, and when movies and stuff is coming out, albums coming out, they hype stuff up in order to get sales. Just a part of marketing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, but again, like you said earlier about that misconception about the brothers taking care of their children, man. I believe it, man, because myself, I do my job, you do your job, and a lot of brothers that I know take care of their children. A lot of them. Now it's a few here and there, but I know, I'm gonna put it like this: I know more people right now that are married and that take care of their responsibilities than I don't now. That I can go, you know what I mean? So in my life, that's a good thing. It may be different for other people. And my first example came from my dad. They still together, so that's the household that I came from. So I'm a family dude, at the end of the day. So you got to take care of the children. But again, like they say, he got to get this ironed out, man. Hopefully sit down, him and the woman and his daughter at some point can iron all this out for their family. Yeah.
You think this was that wake up call? You think this was that point, that call that said that she saw something and she's had a little bit of compassion? You think that may have brought out some compassion in what she had to say and how she's approached the situation? Or do you think she's seeing it like blood in the water?
I mean, you never know. I don't really know, the lady, we'll see the character, but I mean, compassion and what? You think she's going to lessen up that $13,000 a month? I doubt, you know what I mean?
Once they pay, you paying something, man, it's not finna go down. It's like when two cops show up, man, they put the cuffs on you. They not finna take them off, man.
Yeah, exactly. For nothing.
Yeah. Once you're there, you hit, man. So that's something he just going to deal with. But I think that may he may be making a case. It may be an acting case to try to get some additional mediation, to bring some sort of mediator in. He may have used it as a chess move. We don't know. We don't know. I mean, the guy is an actor for a living.
Right. True.
He's not a good actor, but actor nonetheless. He plays the same cat.
Yeah, man. And yeah. Definitely. But with that being said, though, man, brother Darren has to get ready to get out of here. I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Got a lot of work to do. Y'all got to make sure y'all go into the description box. It's right below the video you're watching. First and foremost, the website is hiphopun.com. We got a lot of beautiful articles over there. All our social media sites is there. Make sure you follow them. All of them. Like, subscribe, everything. Hit the like button on this video. We got a lot of people watching. Hit the like button for me. And if you can, share this video. Yeah, come on, people. Hit that like button. I definitely appreciate everybody that's participating in the chat room right now. Brother Darren, if you got any parting comments, man, microphone is yours.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Oh man, parting comments, man. Just hey, thanks again, man, for just sitting here chopping. We chop it up a lot, and so this is kind of like us being able to share that kind of chopping up we do in these conversations with other people. And I think that it's good to see black men, two black business owners that's doing this and really, showing how we should communicate. We're an ill people, and this is a chance for us to be able to share what a healthy communication, a healthy business relationship should look like. And I appreciate that, man. I appreciate, for share that, man. And fathers, keep being the father of your child, man. And mamas keep being the mother to your child. And you know what? Remember, if y'all in a relationship, y'all had that child together, y'all need to have that child together.
Absolutely correct. And with that being said, peace, living soul journey, and full of Southern charm. Save me a plate of oxtail, rice, and gravy. Peace to my man Delph, the white boy, Amanda Pugh. Annie, of course, Robin, Miss Robin White, and everybody else in the chat room that came out tonight. This has been a Hip Hop News Uncensored production. We out. Peace.